Welcome to HR Tuesday Tips with the Millers, and today we're going to be focusing on some personal usage at work and what do we need to do to address it and how we can actually give some best practices to our companies that we're working with. So let's take a look at cell phone usage. I know everyone has a cell phone these days and they want to stay connected to that medium. So have you ever had to deal with an issue with that with a client, Janine?
Oh yeah, and I could say all day long, but I kind of want to just speak to one in particular because I really like the end result of it, and they all handled it very well. So I had a client with about 70 20-somethings, and you can just imagine that they've grown up with it really, and like we said, they're, that phone's with them at all times, and frankly, they can text while it's in their pocket. And so the clients are saying to me, they're wasting time. What am I going to do about this? How do we police it? Whatever. So I said, what we do is call them in and talk to them about it. So I did. I brought the employees in, and I said, listen, this is the bottom line here. Here are our policies related to personal business on work time, and we really find that these are going to be very distracting, and so we need to address this. What do you think we could do? This particular group felt like the only way they weren't going to use it was to take it from them. So they decided themselves that every morning when they come in, they'd give it to the receptionist, take it out at lunch, get it back later in the day. That does not work for everybody, but I could just tell you that the point of this is I asked the employees how they were going to help us achieve this, which is really a problem, and that will impede the performance. The other thing is, employers say, well, even if we have a policy on it, which you do need, how do we enforce it? And it's difficult to enforce. However, you're always looking at performance. If people are still functioning at a high level, you're getting the quality, you're getting things on time, you really don't see a problem, then I wouldn't look for one. So in fact, it must not be impeding their work progress. I do get it though, where other employees complain about it, and they'll say, well, Lori's got her phone all day long. We do have to address that. But again, that's a case-by-case basis, and we would work on that depending on your particular situation. But we recognize it, we hear it all the time, it's a very big problem. And so we would just have to really carefully calculate how to address it and get the employees on board to respect why they shouldn't be using it so frequently.
And would you use that same strategy when it comes to usage of social media in the workplace?
That's another one. That's a really good one to bring up, Lori, because social media is another one. I mean, people are accused of online shopping, they're on Facebook. The other thing is they're posting during the day. Well, it's time sensitive, time date. Not the best idea to be posting during your work hours. They're clearly not doing their work if they're doing that. Some will say I was on my lunch, whatever. Again, have a policy on that. Maybe you don't want your employees to look like they're not doing anything work related and they're posting on Facebook because your clients and customers are seeing that. It all comes down to your policies. Enforcing that, again, is a little more difficult, although I do have clients that have IT people that can track all of that. So, customized again, who you are, how you manage, what your style is, all matters in terms of what you're going to do about that. But you have to have a very good policy on social media use, computer use, email use, anything that could be possibly representing your company, all of that.
Okay, excellent. And so I think there's a blend of proactive and reactive.
Exactly.
Proactive, have the policies in place, communicate with those employees so they know what they can and cannot do. And then reactionary, if it's causing disruption in the workplace, you need to address it and get the employees involved to actually come up with some solutions.
Right. And then after a while, you go back to your go-to, and that's your discipline process. And it's the typical, what do you do when somebody's not responding well to the policies, not following your policies or whatever, and it gets back to all your good policies that are in place and practices.
Yes, and running a business, handling, your employees, there's a lot of gray areas. That's where you want to bring in the experts, someone like myself or Janine, to really coach you through the process and do what's going to be best for you. So, thanks so much for some great information. As always, I'm Lori Miller.
And I'm Janine Miller.
Thanks for listening to us today. Sit back, relax, we got this.